What is up? Welcome into Holladay Distillery in beautiful Weston, Missouri. And we are here for Sometimes Weekly Sports and Stuff, an all-new show that we started last week. This week, I'm joined by my good friend Hartzell Gray. Hartzell,
I'm week two?
Week two,
Don't
man.
Don't put that kind of pressure on me. No. See, this is when you're building the audience. This is when you're supposed to, you tell them what it's going to end up being like. This is the same kind of show they're going to get, show 100, Right. That's too much for me to have to feel like I'm a part of the founding fathers of this thing. I'm just the guy who's supposed to tell. I'm the guy that drinks and tells dick jokes on the radio. That's my role, and so that's more of a show 13 or 14 kind of thing. So for show 2, my goodness, thank you for the honor and a privilege, Tucker. Appreciate you, man.
You're welcome. And as I mentioned, beautiful Holladay Distillery. Their event center that they have here is second to none. Really. Yeah. I don't know if I've seen anything like this. Weston is have you ever been to downtown Weston?
I didn't know downtown Weston existed. What does that mean?
Oh my goodness!
Is downtown Weston a thing?
Yes, it is. So it's like I'm
learning a lot while I'm here.
It's like a small settlement, Lewis and Clark. This was on the Lewis and Clark Trail. This whole limestone shelf was discovered by Lewis and Clark. Listen, I don't want to give the whole tour away. I don't want to be stealing business away from.
I'm more upset you didn't put a spoiler alert, before any of that.
Should have.
Yeah, big Louis Clark vibes over here. Mm-hmm. Hey, this is like a town within a town.
Yeah, essentially.
This is the coolest. I mean, that says ancient cave to my left. And we're stepping on the lead. That's a cave right there, Tucker.
Yeah. I told you, first time that we came to this beautiful event center here, I saw the words ancient cave, and I could not stop thinking about it.
Yeah, no, that's going to be hard for me to not just focus on that the entire interview, because what's in it? Number one, I want to know how ancient it is. Number one, why is there a cave in Weston? I have nothing but questions.
There's a lot of things you need to learn about Weston, and I recommend that you stop up at the Welcome Center of our good friends at Holladay Distillery and take a nice cocktail that they got.
Wow, you're
serving
really
drinks
good at
up
this.
there. I do my best, man.
Cheers, Tuck Dog.
Yes.
Cheers.
Yes.
Also, this is part of the stuff, right? This is sports and stuff. So I think we're still on brand. Cheers to you.
We are still on brand. We are sipping on some great cocktails. This is called the El Jefe. You can see it behind me on that sign.
It's a boss drink.
It is a boss drink for sure.
I took Spanish 3 in high school. Thank you.
Husong's silver tequila, some triple sec, lime juice, and simple syrup. It really hits nice.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed.
We earned this. We deserve this. I'm sorry, I keep playing with my mic. Because if I do it the way Tuck's got it, you're going to see a hairline that is embarrassing to myself and my family. Listen. So I'm trying to just keep the hat on. Plus, the hat's kind of a trademark now.
I like it.
I wear it too much now that I kind of have to commit to it. So I'm sorry if I keep moving around. It's because I refuse to let y'all see the little hairs that I have on my head.
Respect the hustle. Not gonna tell you not to stick to the brand. Honestly,
always commit.
Gotta stick to the brand. So Hartzell, I appreciate you joining me. There's always a question when introducing somebody on a show, right? Mm-hmm. And you always run into these things. How do you want to be introduced? I asked you that, and I said, I've got something for you, actually.
I just want to hear what you've got. If you ask me how I would be introduced, I'm the village idiot, ladies and gentlemen, Hartzell Gray. But I would love to hear what you got. What do you got?
Hartzell Gray, the all-world hype man and voice of Kansas City.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Oh, I love that so much. Yes. All-world hype?
All-world hype man.
Ooh. Oh. So like a world star.
Yeah, you're not all city. You're not all state.
Wow.
You're not all conference. You're all world.
Wow. I love that. I'm going to update my Twitter bio right now. That's really good. You know what? I appreciate that because that means that all this falling off of stages and losing in hot dog races, that means that it's gone for something. It wasn't for naught.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. That means no BS. That means a lot. That really does. All world hype. Oh, I like that.
So tell me what you do then, Hartzell. What do you do in your own words? Because you do a lot of stuff, and we're going to dive into it as we go down, but I want to know what you do from you.
What I like to consider myself doing, I'm amplifying. I'm trying to tell stories. I'm trying to help get us from point A to point B.
Right.
Right now, in this craziness, living in this panini, still being here is so important, and we should really lean into that because, we're doing this in spite of this nonsense, and so I want to be able to be a part of this, not next chapter, because I'm so sick of that phrase. We're not going to a next chapter. This is a brand new book.
It is.
Brand new book that's got shades and notes of the previous series and previous trilogies that is life, but what we're doing now is so new. This is a brand new thing, and I hope that I can help get us and usher us and help us, realize what this new thing is. I love my town. I love my city.
Yes.
I'm born and raised here. And the town's been, this city has been way too good to me. It's an undeserved platform that I take so seriously and am so grateful for. And it's not lost on me that it is absolutely undeserved. Like, it's a gift. It is, you know this. I mean, we get a chance to kick it with the homies for a living.
Right. Right.
Concert tickets don't pay rent. Don't get me wrong. I wish that all the drinks I've had with Kit Man at Sporting KC, I wish that could be a down payment for a house, but it's not. But you know what? We're going to eventually get to a place, and I can say maybe I made it. Maybe we made it. I did a thing with my city.
Yeah.
And then you can look back at all those times where maybe it wasn't so great, and you can say, you know what? What a ride. What a ride. And if I can do that ride with my folks in my city, we're living the dream, man. It's just, so what do I do? I hope I listen. I hope I amplify, like I said, and I hope I'm genuinely authentic.
Yeah.
I hope you get something out of it. And I say it because I don't know what it is I'm doing that day or what I'm talking about or, what I'm falling from. But I hope you get something out of it. I hope you learned something from it. I hope I moved you. I hope I made you laugh. Or I hope I pissed you off so much that you want to come back and see if I piss you off again. I'm just really lucky. What do I do? I'm a guy that's very lucky to be in the position he's in.
Yeah. Well, I think, you have all the talent in the world, Hartzell. And I tell you this every time I see you, every time we talk it.
Well, you're the flyest man in the business. I don't know what you said. My man's fit. In fact, I wore my chain for you, brother. I know you guys everybody is Zoom in. Who's doing this in post? Are you editing this in post?
Dude, I do the whole thing.
We're going to have a chain salute.
Yeah, that's the thumbnail right there.
That's the thumbnail. I love it. I love it.
So let's talk about your role with Sporting Kansas City, because the first time I went to a Sporting Kansas City game was actually this season.
That was the first one where I saw you?
The first one, yes.
Oh,
and you turned me into a season ticket holder. I want to say that straight up.
Hey, bosses, you hear that? We'll revisit this in the offseason, what he just said. Cheers.
Yes. So
thank you.
Yes, and you bring the energy to Sporting Park, or it's now Children's Mercy Park.
Children's Mercy.
Excuse me. That I don't think that there's an energy like it elsewhere in Kansas City. And I think that the energy between Sporting Kansas City and Kauffman Stadium and Arrowhead are all so different vibes. What makes Sporting Kansas City the place to be whenever they're playing?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Because I do feel like, and it's weird for me to say it, maybe I feel like I can't. We have something that's so different and so special at Children's Mercy Park. I try to compare it. Some people say it's like Allen Fieldhouse, which is, that's not a bad comparison. I'm a grown man, though. I know I do have boyish good looks, but I just turned 30. So, I appreciate the college comparisons. I miss college every day. Beer pong, if I could go back. But, I like to think, though, it's not just that. It is, God, it's an energy. It is a connection. It's a hangout. It's about the team first and foremost. That's the part I think that a lot of people don't realize when they ask me about, what's it like being there, or how do you think you do this? And don't get me wrong, I think we do a great job, and I'm very proud of what I do. I think that we put on maybe the best show in professional sports.
Yeah.
And I think that happens in KCK every Saturday or Wednesday. I think that we can honestly say that if you come to a sporting game, that you're going to see some of the best entertainment in the world. All that being said, though, we would pack that stadium 20K without me being there every time, because it's not about me. It's about the team. It's always about what we're watching. It's about those guys. And so, again, I think what sets us apart is that you have a stadium, fans included, that are so dedicated to making sure you know that the team you're watching, the team you're seeing, maybe you're watching on TV, you're going to know how good our guys are because we're going to show up.
Right.
From pregame to post. You know, that's kind of, you know, we're always on, but it's because we have a team, an organization that is worth putting on for, you know? And I think that's what makes it so cool is that every game day, and, you know, all sports can say this, but I know firsthand from working with sporting that every game day is different. So when I'm driving in to the stadium, I have no idea what I'm going to do today. You think I knew I was going to be falling off? Sure didn't. But you know what? We made it work. You know, there are times when I'm sticking my face in barbecue or sticking my face in nachos. Or I do a lot of face food stuff. I didn't plan on that day, but you know what? I got a couple giggles from the person who was standing right next to me as I was filming it. I'm like, oh, they like that? Okay, cool. We're going to commit to that. Because you have split seconds where you got to read the room.
Right.
And so there will literally be times where I can just, you know, I'm doing a read right here. And I'm, hey, tag the video board. If you want to be on Sporty KC's video board, you know, and I'll hear somebody. And they'll just say something like, oh, my God, is that him? I was like, yeah, it's me, and that could be you, my friend. In fact, let's do a selfie right now, and then you can tag at Sporting KC and be on the video. You know, like, it is something where I have been given the freedom to do stuff like that, which is incredible. I started off doing PA. I was just the guy that you had heard, you know, Major League Soccer and Sporting Kansas City recommend that you don't do this and perhaps maybe think about this instead.
Right.
And so, we did that for 3 seasons, 2014 to 16? God, wow, it's been that long? Oh, my God. Whoa. And so, I just did PA stuff. It was literally just, you know, visit Sporting Style for more. And we did a halftime contest that was just let's try a thing real quick. And I looked at this video like 3 weeks ago. So stiff. It's just so hard. It's hard to watch. But I remember, like, I was reading the caption, and I remember I still, like, just get emotional thinking about it because I read myself what I wrote in that caption, being so appreciative, being like utterly terrified because what the hell am I doing?
Right.
And just to now know what we've done with it, how it's grown. It was supposed to be a one thing we're gonna try one time this season. Like, hey, you're good at this. Don't get me wrong. We think you're great, but before we dive into this, let's just try it one time. A random Sunday game, which was a random Sunday. And if it works, cool, we'll think about it for next year. If not, you can have it for your reel. And you can maybe, if you want to pursue hosting, then you can just use this as a starting point. And they loved it. I loved it. And I think we did finish out the rest of the year with me up top. But starting that next season, it was down on the field and being able to literally just kind of make that whole position up. It's been super cool, and I don't know, man. I'm a kid, you know. It's silly. And especially in like the last 20 months, it's easy and rightfully so. You know, we do a lot of existential crises. You know,
right? Who doesn't
sit on the couch? And let's be honest, the bowl's loaded. It's been smoked, and so we're trying to just figure out life for a little bit, and you know. And again, it's okay to yell and scream because none of this stuff is fair, you know. But there's the gift that's going around, you know. It's from The Office, Andy. You know, I wish I would have known I was in the good old days, you know, before they were the good old days or something like that. And I had this conversation about a month ago. I was talking to somebody about radio, because I got the same furlough call everybody else got when I was doing 96.5. And that now flipped, rebranded, and all that stuff. And so someone at the sporting game was like, "Hey, Hartzell, how you doing? I miss you on the buzz, all this stuff." And we got to talking about like glory days stuff, and like, oh, you know. And I brought up that exact GIF, you know, and I was like, yeah, you know, I wish, you know, because I was bummed out, you know. I've spent 8 and 10 years of my life there. Oh my God. Started off as a little baby intern, and you know, and then life said that, you know, maybe you weren't worth it, and that sucked, you know. And then we got reinforced. So many of us was reinforced that, like, you're not worth it, or maybe, you know, you're not good right now, or you know what, not you this time. And that was because that was COVID, that was the shutdown, that was, and when you work in media, you know, it's that fine line.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to do it right, there's that fine line where what you do is who you are, but it shouldn't be. But like, you know, if you want to make it work, you kind of need to. So if furlough me, the personality, then did you furlough Hartzell, the dude? Because, you know, I'm not Slick Rick on the radio. Like, I'm Hartzell on the radio, which is my Christian name.
Yeah.
You know? On the ID, it says Hartzell. That's me. So, like, did you not call me back when we opened up because Hartzell wasn't worth getting the call back for? Or because me wasn't worth, you know, that's the whole thing we went through. And so, long story short, I'm saying that to somebody. It was a cooler conversation than it sounds. I swear, we were only slightly tipsy. It wasn't like, I just tell you, like, back when I was doing the thing. No, and so I was having that conversation. And the guy said, he's like, well, hold on, man. Like, look at you right now. I was like, look where we're having this conversation at.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? It's like, Hartzell, we're sitting where the players sit on the field at Children's Mercy Park, having a come to Jesus moment.
Right.
Talking about, I miss the good old days as I'm in the good old days right now.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, life is shit. And we've been through it, and we're going to keep going through it.
Yeah, yeah.
And we got a whole lot of work to do. We got to do it together. But, you know, to not stop and celebrate the wins along the way is a disservice to the wins.
Yes.
It's a disservice to the accomplishments that we did, the struggle, the fight. You know, like, we've been fighting. We're still here. Like I said, lean in on that idea of still being here because it means everything.
Right.
You know, and so, yeah, I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. No, we good. Yeah, like, that was a bummer, but, like, also, this is cool. Yeah. And I'm still, my key card still works here. So, you know what? Why are we boo-hoo-hooing? Let's go get shots. And that's exactly what we did.
Yeah. See, I've got a similar story. I think a lot of people in media, as you mentioned, have a similar story to that. You know, I was working at a small, the Maryville Forum up in Maryville, Missouri, and the pandemic hit.
Yep.
And, you know, at a small town local newspaper, they don't have a lot of money to begin with. And once the pandemic hits and there's no sports going, it was an easy decision, right? I saw it coming. There was no clue there. And I struggled with some time before I, you know, got on with that.
Hey, don't defend Big Capital, though.
That's true. We shouldn't.
There's a question in there later, I'm sure. I won't get you in trouble, though.
Yeah, I gotta do my very pro.
I know. Well, you bring me back to the middle.
Yes, I will. So
I'm way out left, but don't. Yeah, yeah.
No, I appreciate that. I really do.
Sucked, and it's not fair to. It's not fair to anybody.
No,
and
it's
like
not.
that is the thing that I think we forgot in all the nonsense of debates and whataboutisms is that at the end of the day, this wasn't fair. This isn't fair. We're still living through this thing. And it's okay to yell and scream. I don't think we've had that collective moment yet.
No.
Like, just even to collectively scream would be, even now, even today, in a post-vaccine world, I think that, like, we're still very traumatized. You know, we just got half of Kansas City vaccinated.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, we're still very much in a thing right now. Folks will die tomorrow who didn't think they were going to die today because of COVID. Still. You know, like, we're still going through a thing, and that's not fair. Moral of the story, none of this is fair. And so how do we not go crazy because of that is, I think, you lean in on the power of people.
Yeah.
And what's easier to do than just look in your backyard? Oh, like, who do I go? People. I need people. Oh, God, what am I going to do to find people? Oh, I live in a place that has people. Yeah. And I think the people are pretty dope. Like, I think Kansas City's got some of the best people.
Yes.
So there we go. We found them. Sorry, I just hijacked your question.
No,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
This is sports and stuff, right? This is sports and stuff. We're well within the stuff.
So our lane it's wide open.
Wide open.
Oh, we're good.
We gave ourselves an out too. Even with the sometimes, we gave ourselves an out. So if we don't feel like doing it,
you said I was branding. No, that is.
Shout out BJ for that name. I think that's really good.
BJ.
Yes.
Well done.
Shout out BJ. Man, I didn't expect this conversation to go to where it was going, but I'm glad that we have had that conversation because I think that sometimes people need to hear that, right? People need to hear that. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair that all that stuff happened.
No.
And you and I have had similar experiences to a lot of other people in Kansas City itself. I know the furloughs are still happening. You know, there's a labor shortage going on. There's a lot of stuff going on in Kansas City that are very troubling to a lot of people. So having that moment to say, like, yeah, it's okay to say it sucks. It's okay to be upset. I think that's kind of a big thing. And we see a large mental health crisis, too, come out of this as well. And I think a lot of people, you know, it's really helped myself reflect on really my own mental health and say, okay, it's okay not to feel like you're okay in this moment. And I think a lot of people need to have that moment and say, hey, It's not fair. You're right. It's not fair to feel validated that it's not fair.
Oh yeah, I mean, to love yourself is the beginning of a lifelong friendship. You know, like that is. I've been hospitalized. You know, I tried to take my own life in 2017, and you know, like my buddy took me to the hospital. You know, we get by with a little help from our friends.
Yeah.
You know, he just knew I was at the radio station. I was about to go to work.
Wow.
You know, I was going through the motions. I don't remember a lot of it, to be honest with you, because you're so far gone. I was like, you know. And so my buddy Joe, he's like, Hartzell, I'm going to drive around. If you're still here when I get back, we're going to go take a trip, you know. Yeah. And he drove back around and came back and we took a trip, you know. I'm still here because of my buddy Joe.
Wow.
You know, and I remember when I got out, just like, oh man, I've had this feeling twice now in my life, and maybe one was just the product of the first one. The first one was when I got out of the hospital, and I just took a deep breath, and it's like my lungs opened up for the first time, and it's like I just discovered like how breathing works, you know, like those super like heart wrenching and not wrenching, those videos of like when kids like get their sight or not, so they get their hearing for the first time, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, that was like that moment. Get out of the hospital and just having like hope. Like whoa. Because when you're at your lowest of lows and, you know, folks always say that, you know, if you need help, reach out or here's a number and all that. You're saying rational things to people who at the moment, like, were acting irrational. Mm-hmm. Like, there's not anything you really could have said that would have, you know. There's a reason why when I put my finger on a stove that's hot, it's like, oh, shit, that hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was in 2017, when Joe drove me in, I was just doing that. You know? Like I wouldn't even turn it, for months, I didn't even turn in a timesheet. You know, I was like, I don't need it. I'm not going to need it because I think I was going to be here.
Wow.
You know, and so, you know, machines are fixed, humans heal. I had to learn that. And so, that deep breath was like, whoa, this is cool. Like, I kind of want to stay around for a little bit, you know? And the first thing I did was went to the radio. Which I still, to this day, it's going to sound like I'm fishing for a compliment, but I'm really not. Like, 'cause I do still wish, like, I wonder, like, was I the right messenger in that moment? I think it was the right message.
Yeah.
But I always wonder if like I was the right messenger, you know, because I've had relapses, you know, like, you know, every day is a struggle. Yeah. And I mean that like in the full definition of the word, not always bad because, you know what, sometimes you win the struggles, you know. But I just knew that like there's so many people right now who I know like they can't even fathom that this feeling's a thing. And I know I'm on a high, and I know this ain't gonna last more than maybe a few days, or maybe just it ends in an hour or two. But for right now, like, if you were told me, you know, when Joe drove me in, that even for a few seconds you're gonna get this thing, like it's a nirvana, like I can't describe it. Then that would have, you know what? Maybe that would have maybe stay around for a little bit longer, you know? And so in that day, you know, I got a lot of feedback and I won't forget that day. And then the second time I've had that feeling though was when I got my first COVID shot.
Wow.
That was, we had to drive to Sedalia, you know, to go get it. And it was just that hope, you know, and just, you know, Leia says, some Star Wars guy, hope is like the sun.
Yeah.
If you only believe it when you see it, how are you going to make it through the night? You know? And that was me in beginning of lockdown, man. I got cheated on, and then I got furloughed. And like I said, everything was reinforcing the fact, the idea, not the fact. The idea.
There you go.
Because if I had to.
There you go.
Reinforcing the idea that, you know, we weren't worth taking a chance on. You know, it could be as simple as, you know what? We thought about having you come back, but you just weren't worth it this time, you know? It could be something as dark as, hey, you caught COVID, and you're not going to make it this time.
Yeah.
You know, it like that. Life was just saying that. Life just kept telling us that, I don't think it's you. I don't think you were worth it. It's like, I just refused to believe that this time. And maybe it's because I didn't want to go back to the hospital, which there's no shame in going to the hospital. No shame whatsoever. The food was great. I actually loved it. You know, can't afford it this time, that's for sure.
Right.
So that probably also contributed. But I also I needed to know that I got better.
Yeah.
I needed to know that I could do it this time. And, taking a walk, because we always do, I take walks.
Yeah.
But just coming back to your initial point, it comes back to just being able to maybe just to yell and just to get that exhale, to breathe in and breathe out, just try to find a way to not beat yourself up in this. You didn't have any control over any of this,
No.
And you're still here. Like, yo, my guy, my girl, quit yelling and creating narratives of screenplays in your head of things that you never said and things that never actually happened to you, or maybe they did, but guess what? That scene was that scene. You're in a new thing right now. And that was what I kept trying to do. I'm still working on it.
Yeah,
I stew in the past all the time.
Of course.
I say all that stuff really vividly because I do it. You know what I mean? If I wrote down the screenplays in my head, my God, Spielberg, kicked your boy up. You talk about a trilogy.
Yeah.
I got volumes.
Well, I appreciate you being so vulnerable. And I know that's not an easy thing to do, and I really do appreciate that conversation. You talked about screaming and yelling, and you do plenty of that, right? on Sundays, on Saturdays, on Wednesdays for Sporting Kansas City. So they got a big playoff match coming.
Yeah.
On Saturday. You and I will both be there. I'll probably be hanging out with you afterwards. In
no.
Pub.
Yeah. No other, wherever else you want to go. No other pub. Let's see, we can go. We got Budweiser Brew House at Children's Mercy. We can make a tour of the post game.
Let's do it.
We just go to the entire sporting bar network after we, of course, celebrating the dub Saturday.
Yeah, I'm with that. So what makes it about Sporting Kansas? You talked about this earlier too. The fans are incredible. What makes that such an advantage for this team?
I mean, you just said it. There's something special. A few years ago, we were really leaning into the whole soccer capital of the nation. We should lean back into that more because it's still true. It never stopped.
Yes.
And I really do think that, case in point, we had a Wednesday game recently, and it was 10 minutes before it kicked. And I was looking around. I was like, man, there ain't not a lot of people here yet. And my exact words was, not a soul to be found over here. And 5 minutes later, capacity.
Yeah.
It just... So it is just amazing to see just how the soccer community in Kansas City has been embraced. Everyone likes to say, and I don't think it's completely accurate to say that, Kansas City soccer has came out of nowhere. I don't think that's true. The Wizards, was it 96?
Yeah.
There's been a soccer community, and by the way, a good one.
Yeah.
A positive, I think, inclusive soccer community that's been around, I think, since Jump Street. And so I think a better way to phrase it is just to see how this new age has so adapted and enhanced the soccer experience in Kansas City. And so, and it's not just why do we do so well on game days? It's not just because we got folks who show up every Sunday or Wednesday or Saturday. It's because we have folks who are watching our Sporting KC2. We got folks who are following along with our academy affiliates. We have folks who are gonna go to bars out in Weston or at P&L at no other pub. Who are just gonna go and watch on a random day of the week because they support Sporting KC. And there ain't no fair weather fans. At Children's Mercy Park.
The team is huge, but Sporting is not the only place you can find you hyping up a team. We can find you several other places.
I wear lots of hats.
You do. You do.
I've realized that when you stack plates, you don't have to go out. You can just stack on top of each other. And you get more plates that way. That's science. Or is it? No, it's physics? I don't know. See. I went to Mizzou. I went to UMKC.
Okay.
Ran track there and went to Mizzou. But I tell folks, when you graduate Mizzou, you're a true son. I left because of radio. I got 18 hours left, so that makes me like a true bastard. So that it grants me admission for homecoming, but that's where it begins and ends. Yeah.
Yeah. So you work with the Kansas City Monarchs. A wonderful season for them, winning a championship.
Storybook, right?
Oh my gosh.
Year
wonderful.
one, the Reign Reborn, and then you bring home the championship, ring season, baby. Ooh.
When Buck O'Neil was looking over that season, he's now up for the Hall of Fame as well. So there will definitely be a push. I have no doubt in my mind that Buck O'Neil will be in the Hall of Fame after
they won't,
this season.
They can't botch it twice.
Yeah. No,
like, let's just be real. They can't botch it twice. That man, a treasure. I had a chance to meet him doing a grade school, book report type of thing, fifth grade. It's just the coolest cat in the game.
Really?
You know, because I think it was a Cadillac or a Lincoln. He would park right in front of the museum, and it was like the buck stops here. And, you know, to be in that lobby and just watch him do his thing. That was what I remember the most. I remember our awkward photo. He signed our hat, and I just remember, like, walking away and just watching him.
Yeah.
And, just incredible. Yeah, so I would say at Legends Field every so often I'd say, the Reign Reborn, this is Legends Field. We got the legends in the house. The spirit of Jackie Robinson is in the house here at Legends Field. The spirit of cool Papa Bell and Josh Gibson. Of course, you always end it with, ladies and gentlemen, I can feel the spirit of Buck O'Neil in Legends Field. And then they start going off. But it's true though, you can't be putting on the Monarchs uniform and not be the best, and wow, what a season. Seriously, that was, people forget in May, we were like 7-11. Yeah. I know it was under 500. And then we ended up winning 69 games. Super nice.
Super duper nice.
Super nice. And even nicer than that was bringing home an American Association championship.
Amazing.
So I got this is my first ring since my 2007 Class 4 state championship. Lisa and West Titans. Any Titans in the house?
Not a big deal.
Yeah, I still wear my ring. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. High school hero. Hashtag peaked in high school.
Not a big deal at all. So you also started a new role too. You talk about stacking plates. This is another plate you added on top of this stack. You joined the ownership group at Journey Pro KC. I'm not going to act like I know what that is. I'm going to be honest with you. So I want you to break it down for me. Tell me why you decided to make that jump and how it kind of came about.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Because we're doing professional wrestling.
Yes.
That's what Journey Pro is. And, oh, man, it's a dream come true. I was so lucky to be given this opportunity to work with some amazing dudes. DJ Stewart, Walter Fulbright, Chris Mowry, and myself. We're going to be doing this thing called Journey Pro. We got a show November 26th at Blip Coffee. That's right, professional wrestling at Blip Coffee in the West Bottoms. And I told you at the beginning, I believe in storytelling, man. And professional wrestling that's just poetry in motion. It's a story of us. It's like it is the mirror to not just pop culture, but I think everyday society. And what makes Journey Pro so awesome is that. We're rooted in inclusiveness. We're a good time.
Yeah.
Like if you want to come and see catch can wrestling and that's an elbow tie up and up down leapfrog shoulder tackle. Like you can do that if you want to, but also we're gonna have a DJ there and we're gonna have a bunch of cool stuff and Outfield Brewing's there, so we're gonna have some beer and just go kick it sometimes in we had a show at Edwardsville at a baseball park. And it was just a good time with the homies.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, you watching this? That's Kenny Alfonso. That's Jeremy Wyatt. Oh my gosh, that's Alan Angels from AEW. That's Dak Draper from Ring of Honor. That is, we have big names that come in. We have, I think we have some of the best roster in the country.
Wow.
And that's in Kansas City. There's so much history of professional wrestling in Kansas City. Handsome Harley Race, Ric Flair. Shawn Michaels, I think, won. And someone told me Shawn Michaels won one of his first titles in Kansas City. My dad used to go see Hogan at Municipal, Bobo Brazil, and the Junkyard Dog. And, I never grew up. There's a reason why I do what I do. It's because I watch professional wrestling at clearly a way too impressionable age. When I get out there, I'm either cutting a promo, I'm either, it's Hartzell, we're doing a read. All right, go to me for a read. Kansas City, let me tell you about our friends at Hollywood Casino. They've got a mix and match play deal. And here's why I think that's important to you, Kansas City. It's because my cash could be your cash. How bad do you want this cash? Follow me at Hartzell965 and you may be entered in to win some my cash. thanks to our friends at Insert Casino, because you can use this for anything. It's just a promo.
Yeah.
I'm just cutting a promo. It's not Dusty, it's not Dusty Rose doing hard times. Mm-hmm. Hard times, ladies and gentlemen, is when you go home, you don't know how you gonna pay for your kids to get something to eat. I'm not doing hard times. Mm-hmm. I'm doing Hartzell.
Yeah.
But, it's just pro wrestling. When I do lineups, I am Mean Gene Okerlund, I am Howard Finkel, that's and now it is time for your May. I mean, that kind of stuff. I mean, when I do, I just changed it this year. Oh. So when I do Sporting Kansas City, I usually just go really hard with like Sporting Kansas. I used to be really like douchey with it, to be honest with you, because I thought that was kind of cool. It's like, oh, because I'm not what people think when they see me.
Right.
But I also know that people want a certain kind of feel with stadiums. Like no matter how much I can wiggle in lanes, there's just something they kind of think that they're used to,
Right.
So I was like, okay, how can I change this up? But at this point now, I think I can get away with some things that may not make sense. And so I went and I was like, man, how can I make this work? And I was literally like, man, what wrestling thing have I not tried yet? And I was like, oh, let's inflect it up a little bit. So instead of going Sporting Kansas City, I can go Sporting, because I need a signature thing. Mm-hmm. Like, what's your thing? Because I used to do Tim Melia, and I still do, but there's going to be a time when I can't get that high anymore. And it's happening very quickly. But they can remember me when I say Sporting Kansas City. So you go up high for some reason. Yeah. Was that? Hold on. I was pitchy. One more time. One more time.
Get a swig of that. There you go.
Sporting Kansas. Nope, cracked again. We save it for tomorrow.
That's true.
What am I doing? I'd save this for tomorrow.
You have to.
I'd save it for tomorrow.
Yeah. So, and if you got to go out and catch the game to hear Hartzell's trademarked, probably.
I think at this point, yeah.
Patented.
Yeah, like the Johnny Russell thing is really good.
Johnny Russell's a good one.
Because I really get into that one. There's only one Johnny Russell. It's all about the.
Oh yeah.
And again, that is from pro wrestling.
There
because
you go.
When I hear myself do Johnny Russell, I hear Tony Chimmel doing your rated R superstar, because that's what he calls for Edge. Or I hear, I hear Howard Finkel bringing on The Undertaker. Mm-hmm. So it's like, from Death Valley, The Undertaker,
Yes.
But that was Fink's version, but the, Justin Roberts' version was The Undertaker. Like, he would do it very differently.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's where I get it from. Like, I'm over here, I'm explaining the joke at this point, but it's just, life is pro wrestling, and give these folks a dog and pony.
Listen, nobody outgrows pro wrestling. It just goes through phases. I found that in my life too. You just go through phases where like you like pro wrestling a whole lot, and then you just like kind of fade out a little bit. Then you like it a whole bunch. Happened to me several times. Mm-hmm.
So, and one of these waves, you're gonna end up reaching ownership to something. So the next wave you're on, you're gonna end up getting into a wrestling company. But no, it's just, again, dream come true. And if I can, because I know we're running over, but
no, you're good.
Because I told you we take walks.
Yes, we do.
And my first wrestling thing I ever saw was 2000. Yeah, we were going to Blockbuster. Me and my twin, my mom, and we're supposed to go check out Back to the Future. We'd always get a random VHS, but then we'd always circle back to the Future or Star Wars because me. And so I went and got Back to the Future. I was trying to get the sequel and got it. Got home, threw that thing in there. I was like, whoa, what is this? And it ended up being the Royal Rumble 2000, which, if you don't remember that card, is Madison Square Garden. Oh. You had Cactus Jack versus Triple H in a street fight that included thumbtacks and tables and and barbed wire because Cactus Jack. And you had The Rock win the Royal Rumble after cutting one of the best promos of all time. And that's the first time I heard this. I was like, what is happening here? This is amazing. An 89-year-old woman flashed the camera.
Yeah.
Like, it was
classic.
It was the Attitude Era. It was a different time. It was the late 90s. the first ever tag team tables match. I mean, this was just like, it was sensory overload, and I just knew this was it for me. I was like, man, if I can't find a way to be involved in this, and here we are. I trained a little bit, and now being able to commentate, and that worked its way up to now having a stake in this thing. Wow. It's the best, man. So come and see us November 26th, and man, you're gonna get me in trouble. We have so much stuff in the works.
Hey, I don't want you to spoil any secrets here. I'm not trying to break news or anything like that. You guys have a great name for it.
All I'm saying is, there's gonna be a time, my friend, when I'd love to bring the KC Sports Network.
There we go.
Out to a venue that you can confidently say you'll be back to again, again, and again.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll be able to do cool things out of. I'm getting in trouble.
No, we're good.
What's that called again? The Hefe.
The El Jefe.
Hefe.
The El Jefe.
Hefe.
Well, look, Hartzell, we're nearing the end of these drinks, so that means we're nearing the end of this podcast. Is what that naturally means.
I am so sorry. I completely hijacked the show. I took us in circles and walks, but this has been great. I honestly, can you tell that I've just missed human interaction? Because I do all my interviews over the phone now.
Yeah.
And, I'll be honest with you, when I'm in Hartzell mode at the stadium, like, what do I do? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't get a chance to, like, actually take down the curtain. Because after the game's over, you're boned up. So, you're not,
sure.
But it's nice to be able to chat with a friend, a peer, a coworker, and in these, like I said, in the silliness, just know to see you keep going, I think so many folks are going to look back and just, the first thing, how we got out of this, because we're not out of it yet. Right. I think the future of it, though, is hyper-local. I think it's kicking it with the homies that you trusted, believed in, helped out in the worst of the panini. Right. Or maybe the ones you didn't help out, and you feel a little bit guilty about it. How we tackle misinformation. It's got to be the local actors that you believe. Right. And there's a responsibility on them as well. I mean, I tell my friends, listen, maybe I should listen to it myself. But it's not fair on even you that we are thrusting a new normal on, our sports folks, our media folks, our hospitality folks. Like, hell, did bar workers ever really get shut down for more than about a month? And then we said go back to work and make us and go entertain the sad drunk who wants to just go back out?
Right.
Who shouldn't be going out? We thrusted a new world on folks who didn't ask for it and aren't getting paid for it. And I think that includes what you all do. Again, like, I'm not saying, oh, woe is us, because this is what we chose, but also, like, just a little self-reflection and just a little empathy, and anyway, what you do is important. That's what I'm saying. What you do is important. How you do it is important. And so I know BJ's a little under the weather, but and I can't wait to chat with him too.
Yes.
But I am super, super happy that we specifically were able to do this, man. I appreciate you, Tucker. And this is the first time we really got a chance to hang out. So,
been in the works for a while.
A long time.
It's been in the works for some time, you and I hanging out, so I really appreciate you coming up here to beautiful Holladay Distillery as we're seeing a tour walk by.
Hey, hello, y'all.
Getting a tour to walk by.
Are they going to the cave?
They're going to go in the ancient cave.
What the hell? I thought...
You have to sneak in there.
I signed a list when I walked in. That's what I was next. That tour left me. Tucker, the tour left me.
Well, we better get you out of here so you can go catch that ancient cave. So.
Hefe, we're going to go on a tour. Hey, can Hefe come? Can Hefe come with?
Of course he can. So, Hartzell, tell everybody where they can find you at.
Oh, man, where you can find me. You can get me on the socials at Hartzell965. You can come check out a Journey Pro show. We got one on the 26th, November 26th at Blip Coffee. Oh, God, what else? I am a host for your Kansas City Monarchs, your reigning and defending American Association champion, Kansas City Monarchs. And I believe the schedule for next season has actually just been posted within the last week or so. So we'll have that for you. I host the KC Morning Show podcast. That is now a 2-time Best Local Podcast. I can also say,
yes.
And still, that's also a wrestling thing.
Yes.
So we brought it back 2020 and 2021.
Wow.
So I can't wait to get you on that show.
Yes.
So rate, subscribe, review the KC Morning Show. Myself and my co-host and outstanding partner, who I'm lucky enough to call my girlfriend as well. So yeah, it's It's going well. Oh, I forgot one. I work at KCUR. I do public radio as well.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get me on the weekends. If this gets posted today,
Yeah.
You can hear me all next week because I'm doing all the Thanksgiving stuff.
Yes.
You're going to be hearing me all next week on KCUR. And then, of course, sporting KC. Sometimes I forget all the things I do.
You do a lot, man.
We sleep. How much time do I got? I got 15 minutes of sleep coming up here, I think. So
Fair. Just a quick power nap. That's how we work. You know, that's how we work here. So
Hefe said that's all I needed. And I'm like, Hefe, all right. That's the boss.
Hefe is the boss here right now. So Hartzell, appreciate you joining me once again. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, man, awesome.
You know, like you said, we took some walks, but I think they were well needed walks.
You got some steps in, ladies and gentlemen. You got all your steps in today, but I hope that you are better for it. And if nothing else, it's been an honor and a pleasure and a privilege getting a chance to kick it with you. So Tucker, I appreciate you.
Yes,
I appreciate you. Let's go change the world. It's a good day in Kansas City.
It is.
Are you feeling the same way I'm feeling, Tucker? Is it a
Always
good day to be in Kansas City?
It's always a good day to be in Kansas City. I don't know if you checked out my Twitter. Actually, tattoo right here.
Whoa!
Got a whole Kansas City tattoo. Dropping that bomb on him
That's the thumbnail right there. Oh, wow.
I don't know why I just now thought of that. I should have dropped that out earlier.
Okay, I know I gotta stop, but hold on. This is gonna be the real thumbnail. We gotta show them our new shoulder tats, all right? So Tucker's got that one. I can't see.
Yes.
Boom, for the camera.
Oh, man. If you are listening to this on audio, you need to go to YouTube right now to go watch this.
And we just gave them a reason, and also, like, every button is now unbuttoned, so, like, there's a couple of nips that are now being shown. Tucker,
Great show.
I hate that we're gonna do all the teasing at the end of the show, but actually that's how you get them to listen the entire episode.
Yes.
God, we're good at this.
We are.
Sports and stuff.
Hartzell, you're the man.
I appreciate you, brother. This